The summer series extended live chats on accounting topics. This is Ken Boyd, the owner of St. Louis Test Preparation. Here's our Facebook page, St. Louis Test Prep, and our LinkedIn group, MBA Accounting and Finance. What we are doing this summer is a summer series of live chats, and the format will be 1 hour to 90-minute live chats using GoToMeeting.com that I use to tutor with, and we'll limit the participants to 10 people in each meeting. The reason we're doing that is so students can send in questions live via the chat screen. So the value add, the advantage here is I hope that people can get specific questions answered without necessarily being in a tutoring session. The cost is $10 a session. If you'd like to reserve a seat, you can submit payment via PayPal. My email address, ken@stltest.net, is my account number in PayPal. You can send money using PayPal. So if you want to reserve a seat, send me an email and let me know the dates, times, and the topic you'd like to participate in. That's going to be discussed in a minute. And you can send your deposit through PayPal using the Send Money tab, and my account number in PayPal is my email address. So the specific topics we're going to cover, you're going to see that through June, July, and the first half of August, we're going to rotate through debt and equity review, bonds and stocks, earnings per share, things like that. I'll get to specifics in a minute. Cash flow review, financial ratios, intercompany transactions, which is an advanced accounting consolidation issue, management decisions, variance review, which is reviewing labor, materials, fixed overhead, variable overhead variances. And so we're going to rotate through all those. Now, you can see off to the right here that we're going to do them Wednesday nights and Saturday mornings. Generally, Wednesdays at 6 p.m., Saturdays at 10 a.m. So you've got the list there in front of you. And here's some specific topics we're going to cover. Debt and equity review, accrued interest, premiums and discounts on bonds, one of the toughest subjects that students come to me with. Bonds that are callable, that have call features, and convertible bonds. The effective interest rate of amortizing a discount and a premium. Dilutive earnings for securities that adjust the number of shares outstanding, which include stock options, warrants, convertible preferred stock, convertible bonds. Issuing warrants, expensing stock options, and then stock dividend splits, treasury stock, and most of these have an impact on weighted average shares outstanding. So we're going to cover all those topics. For cash flow review, we'll do direct and indirect method. Indirect method for statement of cash flows for operations, which a lot of people have trouble with. A financial ratio overview, I group these into 4 areas: activity ratios, coverage, liquidity, which has to do with short-term checkbook type issues, do I have enough cash to operate, and profitability. I think it's good and it clears things up if we divide those financial ratios into those 4 groups, and I got that out of a textbook years ago and I thought it was a great idea. I'm getting more questions from people on intercompany transactions and advanced accounting. So we'll cover upstream and downstream sales for land, upstream and downstream sales for equipment at both a gain and a loss. Management decision review, and this is sort of a hodgepodge, a collection of the questions on management accounting I'm most often asked and they're most often tested. Closing an unprofitable division, should I accept a special order? Transfer pricing, how does Division A price a product when they're selling it to Division B? Make versus buy decision, should I outsource or keep producing the product myself? How do I use limited resources if I have 2 products I'm making and I don't have enough capacity, maybe in machine hours or labor hours, to make the product? Which one do I choose? Product mix, contribution margin analysis, target profit and margin of safety. We're going to cover target profit, which has to do with if I want to make $2,000 this month, how does my cost, revenue, sale prices, variable and fixed costs, how do I manipulate them to fit into a model that says I can make $2,000 this year? If you think about the break-even formula, instead of setting profit to 0, target profit says let's set profit to maybe $2,000 in my example. Break-even, lots of manipulations with the break-even formula both in units and in dollars. Contribution margin. Fixed versus variable manufacturing costs, which includes a discussion of variable costing and absorption costing. And finally on variances, material and labor variances, which are very similar. Fixed overhead and variable overhead variance. I think fixed overhead variance is probably the one people have the most difficulty with. How does overtime premium and idle time fit in? And what if, after all my variances, I have under or over allocated overhead? How do I handle that? So those are the details on the seminars we're going to present. So you see the dates through June, July, and into the first half of August before the new fall semester starts for folks. So if you have an interest, email me and let me know. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.